The capital of Latvia is the largest city in the three Baltic states and is home to 1/3 of Latvia's total population. Welcome to WatchZilla. Today we are going to give you out 10 best attractions in Riga. Riga has an absorbing history to uncover as a medieval Hanseatic League member and a city that has lived under Swedish, Polish, Russian Empire, Soviet and Nazi rule. There's a youthful vitality to Riga that shines through in its thumping nightlife, trendy dining spots, and thriving alternative scene. From magnificent cathedrals to fresh food markets and opera to a one-of-a-kind car museum, Riga has everything for a memorable visit. The Old Center, Vikriga, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site with labyrinthine streets, medieval churches, and guild halls. And when Riga outgrew its medieval walls at the turn of the 20th century, there was a spectacular burst of creativity that left the city with more than 800 Art Nouveau buildings, more than any other city in the world. This inspiring city will make you smile. Number 10. Latvian National Opera and Ballet. Visit the Latvian National Opera and Ballet to get your fix on Riga's art scene. The National Opera and Ballet is one of Riga's finer establishments. This theater shows that Riga offers beyond just the Art Nouveau beauties that first lure visitors. Fronted by immaculate gardens, this imposing neoclassical structure dates right back to the 1860s. The venue is older than the Latvian National Opera, which was founded as in the situation in 1912 and had to wait until after the First World War to give its first performance, which was Wagner's Flying Dutchman in 1919. A neat piece of trivia is that Wagner was the music director of the Deutsches Theater, the forerunner to the National Opera, for a couple of years in the late 1830s. The resplendent interiors were produced by the studio of August Volz, who also designed the Roland statue and allegorical sculptures on the facade of the House of the Blackheads. What sort of show would you like to see in Riga? This opera house remains loyal to the romantic and classical genres. Today, it still sees a regular rotation of new productions and hundreds of captivating Latvian and international performances each year. That means there's sure to be something showing that will let you join Riga's high-flying set for a stylish slice of mid-evening entertainment. Culture lovers can't turn down a night of Faust, Die Fledermaus, or Madame Butterfly, so check the listings when you're in town and join the impeccably dressed throng. Number 9. House of the Blackheads. The piece de resistance on Town Hall Square is undoubtedly the magnificent House of the Blackheads, first built for an association of unmarried merchants and ship owners in the 1330s. This exuberantly adorned brick building was a nexus point for business and trade in Riga during the Hanseatic years. And as they were bachelors, the Blackheads were known for bringing life to Riga society, organizing parties and celebrations. The building was modified in the 16th and 19th centuries before being wrecked during a German bombing raid in 1941. The reconstruction didn't take place until after the Soviet period and was finished in 1999. You can go in from Tuesday to Sunday to learn about the Blackheads and the history of the building. The vaults in the basement are original and date from the 14th century, while the stupendous celebration hall and the collection of antique silver are must-sees. Number 8. Riga Motor Museum. If you like new cars, old cars, cool cars, and hot cars, you've got to zoom on over the Riga Motor Museum. The state-owned Riga Motor Museum reopened for business in 2016 after a 3-year makeover. This museum has a large collection of antique cars. If you have a thing for classic cars or are intrigued by Soviet artifacts, the museum is sure to hold your attention for an hour or two. From the Soviet occupation, you can see models by Volga, Moskvich, and Zagauli, as well as a ZIS 115 armored car designed for Joseph Stalin, and a Lincoln Continental 53A town car, gifted to Leonid Brezhnev by Nixon in the early 70s. Look out for the replica of the Auto Union racing car Type D, built by the company that would later evolve into Audi. Also from the West, you can admire a Jaguar MK2, a Rolls-Royce Silver Wraith, and a Mercedes-Benz 220 SE, all in tip-top condition. It also has a super cool driving simulator, a favorite of the tiniest visitors. Number 7. Latvian Ethnographic Open Air Museum. You don't have to travel far in Riga to escape the urban bustle. Located right on the city's doorstep, the Open Air Ethnographic Museum is a luscious lakeside park where fine examples of vernacular architecture from all over Latvia have been lovingly preserved. This Skansen-style museum is on the east bank of Lake Ugla, 30 minutes by car from the city center. It's an attraction not to be missed if you want to learn more about Latvian culture. Established back in 1824, the museum is on 87 hectares of pine forest and has cross-country ski trails in winter. Here, 118 traditional buildings from the 4 Latvian provinces have been transported to this site and carefully rebuilt. Step back in time by visiting peasant homes, workshops, windmills, and priceless treasures like the richly ornamented Uzma Church. The oldest dates back to the 1600s, and the most recent is from the 1930s. The museum is the only place in the country where you can contrast the cultural differences between the provinces of Kurzem, Latgale, Vidzeme, and Zemgale. In these buildings, you'll get to know old-time methods of self-care at saunas, see examples of traditional weaving, peruse an arsenal of tools for historic trades, make your pottery, forge coins, taste classic Latvian cuisine, and find out about Latvian seasonal celebrations. Number 6. Jurmala. Jurmala is Riga's main beach with a vast and sandy coast stretching for almost 25 kilometers. Riga pulls hard with its cultural draws, but it's more than just an intellectual city break destination. This is somewhere beachgoers can just as easily feel at home. The beach is just a 30-minute train ride out of the city's downtown core. You'll know why you made the trip when you arrive. The golden and sandy pine-fringed beach is lapped by clear waters and topped off with the odd hint of Art Nouveau architecture that Riga is best known for. 6 of the bathing areas at Jurmala are awarded the Blue Flag each year and traced by mixed birch and pine forest. Jurmala is worth a visit whatever the season since the area still makes for a rewarding fresh air aplenty beach walk, even when the temperatures drop. It's worth coming down outside the summer season, as you can hunt for pieces of amber washed up on the beach in spring and autumn. Jurmala was a getaway of choice for the communist elite in the mid-20th century, and both Nikita Khrushchev and Leonid Brezhnev were regulars. Number 5. Freedom Monument. Latvians have struggled hard for their country's independence, and the sacrifice and triumph are summed up in one magnificent work of art in Riga. Unveiled in 1935, the Freedom Monument has also played a major role in the country's subsequent tumultuous history. Standing 42 meters high, the Freedom Monument is built from red granite and travertine and crested by a copper sculpture of liberty holding 3 golden stars. The ensemble by sculptor Carlos Zale depicts the nation singing, working, and fighting for liberty, crowned by a beautiful girl holding 3 stars aloft. If you approach the base, you'll find 13 groups of reliefs recording national heroes, allegories, images from Latvian culture, and pivotal moments in the nation's history, like the Russian Revolution of 1905 and the War of Independence. This monument remains the centerpiece for official remembrance ceremonies in the city. Number 4. Old Town Riga. Old Town Riga is the historical hotspot of this small capital. Old Town Riga is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the jewel in Riga's crown. It is one of the most happening places around town. It might be a tad touristy in parts, but the narrow cobbled streets are atmospheric enough to excuse that. Its cobblestone streets and historic buildings are also particularly Instagrammable. Some of the city's earliest structures can be found here, but the neighborhood also houses countless charming restaurants. You'll find the best restaurants and bars in Old Town Riga. Elegant Sav, right on Ritslokams, offers an introduction to traditional local cuisine, including a 6-course Latvian tasting menu. More modern but no less authentic, Domini Canes on Skarnuiela blends innovative new takes on Latvian recipes, with a particular focus on locally sourced produce. Number 3. Riga Central Market. For a shopping experience like no other, head to Riga's Central Market. One of the largest markets in Europe, the vast territory is dominated by 5 Zeppelin hangars filled with cheese, fish, smoked meat, honey, fresh fruit and vegetables, and lots more superb seasonal produce. In addition to this, it is also a great place to pick up some local delicacies or handcrafted souvenirs. There are also stalls to browse outside, while the former warehouse has been turned into a trendy arts and entertainment zone. Some goodies that may take you out of your comfort zone are smoked eels, rupjmaises cartagums, and hemp paste. Up to 100,000 shoppers enter its pavilions every day. The atmosphere is friendly and filled with local colors. The building is a wonder in its own right, constructed in the second half of the 1920s and repurposing German Zeppelin hangars into pavilions. While exploring its many delights, make sure to keep an eye out for the fantastic Art Deco and neoclassic architecture on show all around you. Number 2. Art Nouveau. To the north of the Old Town lies the Art Nouveau district. Riga is an Art Nouveau wonderland, with more than 800 buildings, a third of the city's stock, dating from the prime years of the movement at the start of the 20th century. Art Nouveau, which is known as Jugendstil by the Germans, is a style of architecture that graces the streets of Riga. There the red brick and grey stone of the old town is replaced by tall, colorful late 19th century buildings, with a wealth of sculptured details, often of classical influence. This is the world's largest collection of Art Nouveau architecture, easy to identify for its curved doorways and windows, abundant floral reliefs, female sculptures, whimsical gargoyles, or romantic nationalist imagery. The district is large and central and therefore a good place for a long, meandering stroll. The very heart of it is Albert Street, where every building is worth looking at. The reason for this proliferation of Art Nouveau is that Riga had a financial boom and needed fashionable homes for a growing bourgeoisie when the movement was flourishing. One of the masterpieces is at 10A and 10B on Elizabeth Street by Riga's Gaudi, Mikhail Eisenstein. It's also the location of the Art Nouveau Museum, which is worth entering if only to see one of the most impressive Art Nouveau staircases in Europe. You don't want to miss it. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 1. St. Peter's Church. The 123-meter tower of this Lutheran church is an integral part of Vikriga's silhouette. St. Peter's Church was begun at the start of the 13th century, but had 2 more phases of construction in the 15th and 17th centuries, leaving it with a melange of architectural styles, from Romanesque to Baroque. There isn't much remaining of the earliest building, but you can find traces in the outer nave and on a few of the pillars. Safe to say that the church's tower had a difficult past. The initial 15th century Gothic tower collapsed in 1660. Its replacement from 1690 was then brought down by lightning in 1721. And later the tower burned down in the Second World War to be renovated in the 1960s. During the last reconstruction, an elevator was installed, taking you up to the second gallery at a height of 72 meters for the best view of Vikriga. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchZilla and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.